What's in your mind, baby?
We should talk about things.
You're exhausted.
I have to talk to somebody.
Coming here, it's not an easy step to take.
I can't. My family, my kids.
I know I'm not supposed to be with another man's wife. I can't help it.
I took a step down a terrible path. I do want to get better.
You will.
I didn't expect to fall in love with you, and I did.
I loved your character in this film because you are the voice of reason in the midst of a whole lot of
Sex.
yes, I say, albeit sexy, some messy stuff. And I love that this film it brings some taboo issues into the conversation. What drew you to this role and to Addicted in general?
Well, first of all, I'm very familiar with Zane and her novels, and this being one of her best-selling novels, I felt like Billy Woodruff and Paul Hall, as well as Lionsgate's collaboration, really did a great job in bringing this best-selling novel to the big screen. I love Marcella because she was the voice of reason, and she had heart and compassion towards this conversation of addiction, which I'm hoping that it will take away the stigma and the taboo when it comes to mental health, addiction, and people going to therapy to get help when things are, spiraling out of control, which is what Zoe was going through. And I also felt like it was a good balance in the storytelling of this film. We had a balance of the heart and the therapy and that anchored, grounded character, and then we had the sexy, steamy, and then we had the thriller.
And the bodies.
Right, come on. It's like fully entertaining. It's like a full body workout, this movie.
In so many ways.
Yes.
Absolutely. So like you said, there's a stigma just in general about therapy, and do you bring a stranger in for mental health and all these things, and I think especially in the African American community, there's even more so of one. Do you think that this really will help start a conversation for people to say, you know what?
Yeah,
this is okay.
I think it will, because we're having the conversation right now. So I feel like people are going to talk about it. I feel when people go see the movie, which is what we do after we go see movies, we discuss it. We talk about it. We talk about the things that affected us and the questions that it may had arisen inside of us while watching. And I do believe it is going to create a conversation and dialogue when it comes to mental health and the stigma that's connected to therapy and mental health.
Absolutely.
And addiction.
I think
I know you're anxious, but I don't want you to forget to be proud of yourself too for coming here. It's not an easy step to take. And why don't we just try something? Maybe you can tell me
What brought you here?
would that be easier for you?
Okay. Well, it started the moment that I realized that all the good things in my life could never fill this void that's always been there.
I think the addiction thing is so interesting in this film because, for one thing, sex addiction is real, but I think also the fact that it's this Zoe's a strong woman and she's this career lady and she's got it all together. I think there's such a double standard for women much of the time that, if a man did this, it's like, oh, he's just being a man, and that's, what they do.
Yeah, but I've heard more about sex addiction when it comes to men than women.
Right.
So I feel like there may have been a double standard too, even with the men. Like, only men have sex addiction, but now we're exploring sex addiction from a female perspective.
Absolutely.
And I don't feel like it's like that men are looked at differently, because I got to tell you, I've never had the conversation about a woman dealing with sex addiction. It's always been from a male's perspective.
Yeah, and now we see, So I think I definitely agree with you. I think that they'll enjoy the film for the entertainment and the eye candy.
And imagine if some of the men that may be overly sexed went to Dr. Marcella. How would she diagnose them, and what root issues would she find?
And she would, because you kept picking away. Eventually,
you get to the bottom of it.
Yeah. So last question.
Yes.
What's something that you are addicted to? Maybe not in a super serious, but like me,
Shoes and
my phone.
bags. I mean, honestly,
Shoes and
I am
bags.
addicted to purses and shoes.
How
and
many pairs
really,
of shoes?
I got a lot of shoes. Like, I mean, seriously, over 100. I don't know if that's a lot for some
Yes,
people, but that's a lot for me.
I love it,
Like,
though.
yeah, far over 100. And bags, I mean, bags and shoes could ruin your life if you just keep going
It's
crazy.
a real addiction.
You know, if you, I mean, how many Birkin bags should you have before you say
I don't think
stop?
that there's too many. I don't know. I'm gonna have to say you just keep going with that and give me the old ones if you want
Okay.
to. Thank you.
Thank
It's
you. Nice to meet you too.
You're watching BLACKTREE on TV, only on Soul of the South.